Oh my God,
Hello.
hello. There's some people here already. How are you guys doing? Hi,
Welcome,
Laura.
everybody.
Hi, No
Hello.
Name.
No name is, I don't know if no name is one person or several people. I never know.
Why?
Why? I think it's just like the default, isn't it? No name? No name one and
Um,
two? Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
I have no idea where that's coming from. No Name is one person, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
okay. I thought it was like, like default profile. Like you have, like they just decided to not put anything.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I don't
Hi,
know.
everyone. Oh
Hello,
my
hello.
God. So nice to see you guys here.
Yes, I'm wearing my cosplay. I'm cosplaying. I mean, these are my real glasses that I also wear most of the time, but I'm cosplaying as Mel Robbins today.
Yeah, yeah. And do you want to show us your background?
Yes, I'm launching into space, and everyone knows the thing right before the big explosion that launches the rocket is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. And even when they dropped the Hiroshima bomb, like Teal Swan was talking about, they still counted down from five.
Just
I'm pretty sure.
imagine you are a little child looking up at the bomb.
Yeah,
I've been Teal
exactly.
Swan, fixing your trauma by giving you new trauma.
Oh, yeah, love that one. I
Yeah,
actually realized I have like um toothpaste with fluoride.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, and I don't know what Teal Swan would think of me.
You're gonna go blind, at least in your third eye.
Oh God.
Just rub your forehead with your fluoride.
I need my third eye to stay alive. Please just stay open, okay?
Please. I need to see the future. Yeah. The third episode came out of her documentary. Well, it's not her documentary, but the documentary about her came out today on Hulu, I believe. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm excited
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, we will talk about it like within a week or two for sure on
Yeah.
this day at this time
On this channel.
on this show on this
Amazingly.
channel.
I can't wait. I'll be here. I definitely will be here watching and participating. So,
That would be nice.
yeah. But not today.
So,
Today.
uh, Amber A. She says, "Do you need to count down to five before you begin today?" Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Ready? Should
should
we do
I?
it together? Yeah. All right.
Five,
5, 4,
four, three,
3, 2,
two,
1.
one.
Oh,
Happy.
now I'm rich.
Don't you, don't you just say Happy New Year after that?
Happy. Get out of bed. Woo! Okay, now I can drink my water since I counted down.
Yeah, Kayla has a new jug, a new bucket.
This is my yeah. For context, my head is the same size basically. I have a big head also, so you
Your
know.
head is much smaller.
My head is smaller than this bottle, which is saying a lot. So,
Yeah.
what a good day.
So, oh yeah, thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers.
Yes, thank you.
That is so nice. Now you can unfollow me. It's all good.
Yeah, now you can leave. We've done our part.
This was the goal. Anything from
We're
now
out.
on is going to go downhill.
Yeah. Don't stick around to 3,000 because
Woo!
it's going down. If this is 2,000. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So far, we've been demonetized on every video, so that's a good start to the channel.
Our visions for the future can only go up from here.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Oh.
uh, talking about visions,
Yes.
uh, Mel Robbins is a visionary, as I've
Mm-hmm.
heard.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah. So, do you guys know about Mel Robbins, or as she used to be called, Mel Schneeberger?
I've only known her as Robbins. I didn't know her pre-marriage. Um,
Well,
she
her Robbins is her husband, but she is Schneeberger, born Schneeberger, which I'm not sure
Interesting.
where that's from, but it sounds very German or
German.
Austrian to me.
Yeah, sounds German to me. I can believe that. I thought when I first heard about Mel Robbins back in my, when I actually did like self-development, personal development crap, I thought she was Tony Robbins' either sister or wife. I just assumed that because they're both in the same thing.
No, nothing to do with Tony, which is a plus, I will say, in my eyes at least. But I don't think that I am Mel's like target audience, so maybe it's not the plus that it is for me.
The thing I hear the most from people whenever I bring up Mel Robbins is like, I like her, or I don't know a lot about her, or I see her all the time. She doesn't seem as bad as, a Rachel Hollis, Dave Hollis. However, I tend to disagree. I think she's just as bad, if not on the same level. Well, that's the same thing. I think she's just as bad as them in the sense of, oh, thank you, Amelia.
Thank you, Amelia.
Woohoo!
Woo, that's nice. Um, did you have? Oh
I'll tell
yeah,
you,
she does have a message. Character, is this your message? Character handing over a cup of coffee, saying for you.
it's a cup of coffee for you and me to split.
Oh, thank you so much.
I have a new soundbite to debut, and I'm going to debut it tonight, or not. I don't know if tonight, probably not tonight, maybe tomorrow on my channel. But an exclusive first viewing can be right now or listening. You ready?
Oh,
Just for Amelia. You can tell me if
let's
it's too
do
much.
it. Oh my God.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that sound.
Is that too much?
I don't know.
Okay,
I just did not see this coming.
didn't see that coming. Oh.
Didn't see that coming. I know. Rachel Hollis's next book. Oh no, previous book. Yeah.
So thank you, Amelia. That one was for
Thank
you.
you. That really made me laugh. Um, yeah. Talking about Rachel, she has a new book coming, or will be having. She's writing a new book,
Allegedly. Or she's just going to
allegedly.
publish the one that she already wrote before and hasn't published yet.
Oh,
my
you
guess.
think? No way.
Well, I have my theory because someone on Reddit pointed out that it's a health book, and Rachel has already written a book called Girl, What the Health, but then basically kept it non-published because 2020 came and obviously couldn't publish that during a pandemic. So, she's been sitting on it for 2 years. So that's my thought. Why wouldn't she publish it now?
I think it's irrelevant. But that's not a reason for Rachel. She's going on tour when she's at her least relevance.
Yeah.
So, okay, so back to our visionary Mel Robbins here. So Mel Robbins, you guys know about her, right? You've come across her. She's definitely, they say it's not as bad as others, and I can see why some people would say that. However, Mel is not without her flaws, shall we say.
Agreed.
But why don't we just start with the life story, which is this part. But then we should move on to the Wikipedia page because but let's just first read that one.
Okay. This one? A few things about me?
Yeah. Oh no, just above, because this is the good. Well, I don't know. There's nothing good on this world.
This is a thing. Okay. She says, after screwing up my life for the first 40 years, I finally figured out how to change my habits, and I've become a happier, more confident, more fulfilled person because of it. My mission is to teach you how to do the same in your life, in every aspect of your life. Because if I can do it, you sure as hell can do it. Ready? Oh, I have major issues with this already.
Okay, so this part, the most interesting part there is how she screwed up her life for the first 40 years. because
Yeah.
her life was like so screwed. You guys have no idea. Like unlike anyone.
She only got to go skiing every other ski season. So she was like, really having a hard time, a hard go of it. She only got one law degree.
She only got to go to 2 Ivy Leagues. But that's on Wikipedia. Let's go to Wikipedia. Let's show people just how screwed up her life was. Like,
Yeah.
oh, crazy.
She's the lowest of the low build-up
The
story I've ever
rags
heard.
to riches is something else here.
Oh,
Thank you, Callie. That's so
Thank
sweet.
you. For that, I see the message is unfollow me, and that is true.
Unfollow me.
Yes.
That is good advice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Callie.
Thank you. That was sweet. Okay. So, let's see. She is born in 1968. Is that what it says there?
Yep, she's 53, 1968.
That's the age of my mother, so that's a good start.
Oh, your mom's young.
Well, I guess yeah, she doesn't feel young. So
My mom's in her mid 60s now. There's definitely a difference between 50s and 60s. I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen a difference. Like it just becomes like, well, now you're like about retirement age. So I think I don't know. Personally, it's like when you're 60, then I started to notice my parents both getting a little bit older. Anyways, side note.
Yeah. Yeah, but is it like a good change?
No.
Oh, damn it.
My case. Not in my instance.
I was hoping. I'm like, oh gosh, another 7 years.
No, the little bit of boundaries that were in place before are gone out the window because it's like I'm old. Screw you even more. It's like okay, cool.
Great.
I mean that's a rare
I
case.
love it.
That's my own personal anecdote. So don't take it as the real world experience from others.
Yeah, yeah. Well, 7 years and I'll let you know. In 7 years, meet you right here on YouTube.
We'll be talking Camelia's mother, cringe or quality?
Oh my God, we should totally do that.
I like it. Do you want me to read this part? I know it's hard for you to see through the
Yeah.
screen. Okay. And her and I actually have a similarity, which is kind of cool in her first part. Okay, Melanie Robbins. She's 53, is an American lawyer, television host, author, and motivational speaker. Robbins is known for covering the George Zimmerman trial for CNN. Okay, that was my first job, was covering the George Zimmerman trial locally in a TV station that was near the courthouse. But that was my first job out of school, was covering the trial.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
You should message Mel Robbins and go into a Roden and Field conference with her.
Hey girl, we crossed paths at one point. I would love for you to be on my team. You seem like the perfect type. We have the same glasses. Would be perfect.
Yeah, love it, love it. I don't think she will give you half the money though. But
No.
you can try.
Yeah, I was making like minimum wage doing my job. I think she was making like several $1 million, I would imagine,
Yeah.
doing her work.
Yeah,
But, we're about the same. It's like the same thing, same contribution.
but do you see the progression from that, from lawyer to host? What does that mean? To author. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a television host. I didn't see the word. I'm like, what does it mean to be a host?
She had a show. She had like a legitimate show on NBC, I think, like an Oprah style show for like one season, and it didn't go anywhere. But she was trying to hit the mainstream at one point. It didn't quite work
she
out.
didn't love law that much, did she?
Yeah, I think she's more the personality. She's not like a courtroom. She's not a courtroom girl. Courtroom
yeah.
cutie. She's a TV hottie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so she was lawyer, TV host, author, motivational speaker. She did George Zimmerman trial. Okay, her TEDx talk, How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over, and her books, The 5-Second Rule and The High Five Habit. Okay.
That's not a full sentence.
Okay. She wrote those. She also has multiple podcast series hosted on Audible. Oh yeah, she's on Audible. If you have an Audible subscription, you'll see Mel Robbins every single time you open the app. She's there with like a new audiobook. Oh yeah. Every time about like random ass things. She's always there. I'm always like, oh, no thank you.
I didn't know Audible was like rivaling Spotify. They should get Joe Rogan and get rid of him from Spotify.
Yeah. Well, it's like her audio books, but she records like these short books too that are basically like podcasts. But she's always doing something, which, good for her, I guess, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
one of the most important things here is like just how she attended Dartmouth and she got a JD degree, which what's that? A junior
It's like a
what's JD?
oh God, I should know this.
Juror.
It's like Latin, I think, for like a law degree.
It's okay. Yeah, she got a law degree from Dartmouth and then she went no,
Juris
wait.
Doctor.
She attended Dartmouth College and she received the JD degree from Boston College Law School.
Both amazing schools. Like not everyone goes there. You have to have some A, affluence, or B, really, really intelligent, a lot of intelligence, and you somehow, got a full ride scholarship or something. I don't know. I'm assuming she's smart and she had help from her family is what it seems like happened.
Yeah.
My guess. But either way,
it's likely.
that's
I think if you go to an Ivy League, you would be just surprised at the amount of rich people there. So I would not be shocked if she was like part of the 99%. But okay,
yeah. No,
maybe
I
she got
agree.
it. Maybe she got a scholarship. Let's just let her convince us otherwise.
Yeah.
But you can see she got this degree in 1994, and in 1996 she got married to Christopher Robbins, her beloved husband that gave her the last name that she currently has, and got rid of Schneeberger because that was,
It's not as sellable, I will say. If you can't pronounce the host's last name, you don't have as much star quality. That's why, Cher is Cher and not Cher, whatever her last name is. Because it's like you want it just to be on the top of people's tongues, ready to, Mel Robbins, as opposed to like, Mel, what's her name? I can't pronounce it.
Cher Schneeberger.
Yeah. It reminds me of, what's that? School of Rock, Mr. Schneebly.
Well, I don't know what this is.
Oh.
So, I love that you always have references to things I have no idea about.
It's a good movie.
But yeah, so Mel Schneeberger. Sorry if anyone's German. I'm actually going to Germany at the end of June. So I love your country, but this is just very funny, isn't it?
Okay. You're canceled.
Cancelled.
You're done.
Oh, damn it.
I'm more laughing about Christopher Robbins because like that's the character in the Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, he's the author, no?
No, he's the character, I think. Oh, Christopher Robbins. Yeah, exactly. Andrea knows what I'm saying. Oh, Christopher Robbins. Or no, I guess Christopher Robbins says like, oh, Pooh.
Oh,
That's
Pooh.
That's that character.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so she marries Pooh Bear.
So 2 years after getting her law degree from Boston University, she marries Pooh Bear, and basically, that's a guy who I think at this point, what they say, they were having the perfect Manhattan life.
Yeah,
Can you guys imagine just
Yeah.
how
Difficult.
just the rags going to Dartmouth, going to Boston, getting a law degree, living the perfect Manhattan life? It's such a sad story. Like, I don't know. I'm crying on the inside here.
Well, she's 53 now, so 13 years ago she would be 40. So 13 years ago is what, 2011?
Don't ask me to do math.
2011,
Thank
something
you.
like that. I don't know. I'm stupid. So, but like in that frame, so this was written in 2006. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sarai.
Sorry, monster. A yellow
Sorry,
dog.
monster.
I love you.
I love you for that dog, as Dave would say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I
But
am pretty sure
also-
that
We need American dollars. Sorry, just kidding.
I'm pretty sure that Mel Schneeberger would love a yellow dog.
Yes, I think she would too. I think she has a yellow dog, actually. I think she has like a lab. Okay, so 2006 would have been before her, during her fucked up life, is basically the whole point of this.
Yeah. No, her life was just so hard. I cannot even imagine how hard it must be to live the perfect Manhattan life. Not any Manhattan life, you guys.
And-
The perfect Manhattan life.
Do you want me to read this for a little bit just to get the idea of like how
Yeah,
ridiculous this
yeah.
is? Okay, because I'm reading it again. I read this before and I'm like, wait. Okay, and okay, they got married in 96, but this article was written in 2006 for some reason. All right. Or at least it was put online in 2006. All right, when Mel Schneeberger and Christopher Robbins married on August 24th, 96, they were living a perfect Manhattan life. Mr. Robbins, the founder of a marketing company, skated to work in beautiful, unwrinkled suits. Miss Schneeberger, who loved margaritas and fly fishing, was a lawyer. They said, however, that they were much more interested in creating an imperfect life together, one full of risks, wrinkles, challenges, even crises. Okay, so she had the perfect life and decided that she didn't want that life. She actually wanted an imperfect life. But now, the way that it's presented to me as a consumer of this crap is like, she was so, screwed up. And then she twisted her bootstraps and just fixed her life. Like, come on. Okay, I'm annoyed.
She's so relatable, right?
So relatable. Hold on.
I want to be relatable.
That's Mel Robbins
Yeah,
in her
exactly.
Manhattan mansion. Okay, this part is funny. This is I think what happens, and I don't want to shit on rich people too much because I'm trying to be more not like that, but this is I think something that happens to rich people. They get bored because they're like, okay, there's no challenge here. Like I basically accomplished the American dream. So now let's put ourselves in these crazy situations. That's why there's like these extreme, races where they go on like marathon, climb mountains because they're like, they don't know what to do. And now they've done it. So it's like, I guess I'll just force I need to prove that I'm better than everyone else continuously. So now this reminds me of, so the article says, their idea of a great vacation was to be dropped off by a pilot in the backcountry of Alaska and picked up 3 weeks later.
Oh my god, this is so sad. Why did you just
They're
abandon
private-
them there? He just dropped them there and abandoned them, like left them alone for 3 weeks. I'm so sad right now.
I'm so sad. And their butler wasn't even able to come with them because they didn't have room in the private plane that they rented.
Gosh, no.
So
That is so
ridiculous.
sad.
God. Okay. Quote, I'm not at all interested in being comfortable, Miss Schneeberger said at the time. Quote, I always want to think what's next. When you're comfortable, I think you stop living life with velocity. Okay. Cool. That's what people say when they don't have to actually struggle. I don't want to be comfortable. It's like, you've never been uncomfortable because when you've been uncomfortable, that's all the fuck you want.
Yeah. And is that the thing now that we need to live with velocity? Like what just rush to die? Like I'm not sure where am I rushing to? What's the finish point here?
Gotta go up
Why
into
should I go
space.
super fast? Oh yeah, that's true. 5 4
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the goal.
Yeah. This is such a sad story. I don't know what to say. I'm just like overwhelmed with tears.
yeah.
They're not of laughter or joy. They're like definitely.
We need to
sadness.
fund their next Alaskan backcountry vacation because it's a sad story. They need help. Okay, this is the part now where they're talking about the sad, the pain, the crises, right? This part. I think we're getting to it. Like what, the horrible story. Okay, a year after the wedding, so in 97, They left Manhattan and bought the most uncomfortable home they could find, a ramshackle, raccoon-infested Victorian-style farmhouse in Sherborne, Massachusetts, 20 miles outside Boston. A cross between Amityville Horror and the Money Pit, Miss Schneeberger said with delight. Okay, so they chose once again to buy a home that was a fixer-upper.
Victorian house in Boston. So sad. Like, again, so tragic.
Wait, I have the perfect thing for this. Okay. They bought a Victorian home in the suburbs of Boston. And there was
They
raccoons.
have to renovate it.
Go on. You can talk.
They bought a house that had to be redone.
They had to retile the kitchen.
Oh, I'm so sad. Like,
By their own
literally.
choice, while their money grows in investment funds in Manhattan, they had to redo their house.
They only had like 17 bathrooms and 20 bedrooms. Like, it was so small, literally. Like,
They wanted to keep the original architecture, and so they didn't just bulldoze it. They really just care about the history.
oh my God, they have to redo like the walls and the the floors and just everything. They have to buy like plates.
I don't know. I don't think they eat. They're fueled by velocity.
Yeah, sorry, no time for plates.
No time for plates. I must feed off of my own ego. Okay, here's another we're playing homeless part. While renovating, they lived in a tent in the backyard. They put a refrigerator, a camping stove, and a crippled old couch on the front porch, which served as a kitchen. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I tell you, she's so lucky. Sorry.
No, you're good.
She's so lucky this is behind a paywall because this article is not.
Oh, this is the first time you're hearing
This
this?
is not what it is on the Wikipedia page.
Oh no,
that is free.
This is what I'm paying $17 a month for this type of journalism. The truth.
Yes, I love it. We need more of that.
Okay. To add to her discomfort, she was pregnant with their first child and working full-time as a family lawyer in Boston. Quote, I would go...
Oh my God. Stop. Wait, was she just like pregnant too?
Yeah.
And
It was
she had
immaculate
a job?
conception as well.
That paid like the hundreds of thousands a year? Is that... Jesus. Gosh. That's honestly, I can't, like, so sad.
It's very sad. And she only had, she couldn't go inside. Or, I don't know. This whole thing is so stupid. It's like... It's like creating like a story that does not need to be there. It's like, okay, you could have gone to a hotel or like bought a different home or, done this a million different ways. Like I don't feel bad for you at all. These are all your own choices.
No, don't you worry. Like, she didn't stay in that tent. Maybe they
Yeah.
set the tent, but I highly doubt that anyone stayed in the tent aside from the dog, maybe if they have one.
Yeah, and the baby on the way. Okay, quote, I would go into work having just slept in a tent, and I would shower in the gym downstairs in my office, Miss Schneeberger, 37, recalled. Okay, when their daughter Sawyer Laurel was born in March 99, Miss Schneeberger envisioned days of blissful breastfeeding in their one renovated room. Instead, she experienced real discomfort, going through such bad postpartum depression that she was afraid to be alone with the baby. Quote, it was the most foreign and unsettling experience of my life, she said. Chris did round-the-clock bottle feedings with Sawyer. Meanwhile, I was in such rough shape, he was taking care of me. And this is something I've heard...
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, that is so irresponsible if she had a baby and she was staying in a tent. If that's true, as a mother who has a house, a Victorian house in Boston, and she chooses to stay with the newborn in a tent, which I don't believe for a second that she actually did.
I
But let's
agree.
say we take it at her word, and um, she did actually stay in the tent. That would be such an irresponsible mother in my eyes.
I think so, especially if you had postpartum depression. Like, I don't know. There seems to be a lot of better ways to handle this situation than oh, I want to challenge myself to be pushed to the edge. It's like, okay, well, maybe that's like the reason why you're having some issues, because like you should be comfortable. You should have your baby in a place that's safe and secure and not outside. I don't know.
So, but okay, postpartum depression I think is real. Like, it can happen. I've
Totally.
heard of a lot of women struggle with that. But I mean, if you're having depression and you had a new baby, you would immediately move into the house that is right there. I
Well, they
don't
said
think
they
I
have
would
one
continue to stay in
room.
a tent.
Yeah, they said she had one room to breastfeed in. Now, did she sleep in there too? I don't know. I just, again, seems like there's some sort of disconnect between like, okay, like pushing ourselves to do something exciting and being responsible as new parents, you know.
She
I
only
don't know.
had one room for breastfeeding, the breastfeeding room.
Yeah, she's the one renovated room.
Okay, so why not sleep in that room? Because I've, slept in worse than that.
I don't know. She's like, watch me. I can sleep in a tent and go to
Yeah, this
court.
makes zero sense. I'm sorry. This
Yeah.
is this is such bullshit. This
It's just
story
weird.
makes no sense.
Yeah. And again, like now, the way today, 2022, she presents herself, she doesn't present it this way where it's like, I was rich, I had everything I needed, but I just didn't like it because I was bored. So I decided to, sleep in a tent for fun, kind of like Grimes style. Like, I'm married to Elon Musk at one point, he's got billions of dollars, but I'm just gonna choose to like not live that lifestyle for my own choice. But that's the difference between someone who has a choice to live a poverty lifestyle and someone who doesn't. And I think it's insulting when someone acts like, oh, like if I, like on her website, what does she, literally the website says, because if I can do it, you sure as hell can do it. Most
Right.
people don't have access to a new, or not a new home, but a home, and choose to sleep in the yard because you're renovating it. Like, this is her own creation. And it's annoying that she presents herself the way she does.
Yeah, yeah, and it's very upsetting when people do this sort of like poverty tourism. Like, even Kim Kardashian had like a bunch of photos taken in like a cheap apartment or something so that they can be relatable. I don't know why they succeeded by that.
Why?
But it's very like, oh yeah, don't worry, we're gonna try. If other people can do it, so can we. Like, we can definitely like try it.
Yeah, it's like, it's embarrassing and a slap in the face, quite honestly, to people who really struggle from, financial insecurity. And the thing is, poverty is a cycle. We know that by this point. If your parents are poor, it's much more likely that you will stay poor as opposed to you all of a sudden becoming rich one day and like, hitting the lottery or whatever, getting to school. Because when you're poor, it's harder to find peace and quiet to do your homework. It's harder to afford to go to an Ivy League school if your parents can't afford it. So you have to start out at community college and like be extra smart, be even better than the students who have the money. So it's not easy. And so to say like, well, if I could do it, like, who are you? What was your circumstances that make it seem so much harder for you than other people? Like, well, if I can do it, because I'm
Well, she got left in Alaska by herself,
by
by her
choice.
private pilot.
Yeah, it's just, it's
Like,
so
that was
convenient.
super hard for her.
This stuff gets, it gets washed out in the "you can do it 5 4 3 2 1" shit that is pushed on social media. And it's like, it's not people's fault necessarily that they don't know the whole story, but this is so important to understand. Does this person have perspective that I can relate to? They'll try to fucking make it, sorry, I keep cursing, they try to make it seem like they do. They really will. They will go to the mental gymnastics championship to try to make it seem like they've struggled in their life, when in reality, they're on private planes in Alaska and sleeping in a tent on probably a multi-million-dollar home that they're renovating. Come on, you know?
Yeah, it's very they this is something that I don't know if people know, but Elon Musk does this a lot, where he pretends that he's also coming from a poor background, and he also had the rags to riches story, and the whole thing with like, I had to sell my house to invest in like my company, blah blah blah. I slept on, like, did he say he slept on like his brother's like floor or something? It's like, oh, and now he does couch surfing.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, because couch surfing for Elon Musk is the same as it is for me. Sure, okay. Because couch surfing in like Bel Air is probably just same.
I take
same
my
as for us.
jet out to Hawaii to couch surf for a few months because, I don't want to commit to buying anything. It's like, okay, but the difference is you could. It's you're choosing. People that don't have a dollar to spend aren't choosing to live the way they do. It's like necessity. They're doing whatever they can to survive. That's a totally different feeling than I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like, that's the difference.
Yeah,
It's not choosing like, oh, I'm special because I'm choosing to live below my means. It's like, good for you. Wonderful. But the difference is you have a choice.
Yeah, it's I don't even believe him for a second that he doesn't have like I don't know how many properties. Like, I
How
have
could
no
you
proof
not?
for this.
Yeah.
So Elon, don't copyright strike us. Don't sue me. I have no proof, but please come on. Like,
He's one of the wealthiest
let's
people in the
not-
world.
Yeah.
And if he needed to come up with liquid cash, he could. Or even probably he could convince someone, hey, I'll tweet at you or tweet your name in support if you give me a house, and someone probably would do it for the fame of it, for the exposure. So he's got options in his life as well.
He could probably buy a house with his pocket money this day.
Hell yeah. I know. So stupid. Okay. Okay. You want to go on?
Oh
Continue.
yes, let's if we can get to the husband so that we can see just how sad they were and just how bad they had it.
Okay. All right. Then we're talking about Chris now. Christopher Robbins. For him, having their first child was like living in a cramped apartment and finding a ballroom on the other side of the closet. Only instead of space, he found emotion. What? The fuck is this? This weird analogy.
Okay, wow, Chris, you're such a storyteller.
Okay. Quote, I have deep, profound love for Mel, but when you have children, there's still more there you hadn't seen or felt before, he said. Okay. Once her mood lightened, they came up with a style of being parents that was purposely imperfect. Okay, again, purposefully. Quote, we decided it was typically the third child that was the most well-adjusted and the coolest. So we took a third child approach to parenting, she said. Quote, if she's the third and she drops her binky, you blow it off and hand it to her. If you have a dog, you teach the dog to pick it up and hand it to her.
Okay.
All right.
What?
Good idea. Today, they have two more children, Kendall Iris, 5, and their son Oakley, 11 months old. They still live in the farmhouse, but it looks like a Manhattan loft inside, open and white, with a high-tech stereo system that's often playing Dire Straits, the family's favorite band, and their life is as they dreamed, intense, turbulent, happy. Now, this is 2006.
God.
This is still in the part of, oh, my life is fucked up.
Yeah,
period.
in those 40 years that were so hard for her. Yeah. Yeah. It's super sad. And in the meantime, did he have... Okay, so you guys probably can help us with this, but both me and Kayla have heard that her husband had a chain of restaurants. But in this article, it said that he had a marketing company. But I think maybe they will expand on that, I hope.
I don't know. And maybe I'll have to find the article because, yeah, that's the $800,000 in debt that she claims she was in at one point. But I'm almost positive it was because her husband's businesses were not succeeding as much as they should have. But, like, the fact that they own several restaurants, allegedly, from what I remember, too, that's a different scenario than, like, I'm in debt from going to college. Like, that's just a different experience. Like, Donald Trump's been in debt and gone bankrupt, like, but I don't think, I really relate to Donald Trump's, financial
Poor
story.
Donald.
Yeah. He's really stressed that he might have to like sell one property in Manhattan out of his 20 million. Like, come on.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. Because like that's how it works with this kind of debt. Like, and when you get investors and stuff, they totally expect all of their money back. I mean, you've seen it with oh my God, what's her name? The Theranos,
Elizabeth Holmes.
Elizabeth Holmes. Yeah, totally. Her investors are so waiting on the money back.
Keep waiting, fellas. It
Yeah.
ain't coming. You won't be bleeding by the time you get your money back. Your blood
Is
will
there
be dry.
anything
Sorry.
in this article about Mr. Robbins, Mr. the Pooh? Because I think I would love to hear what's this marketing company that they say that he
Yeah.
has. Because for sure there was a chain of restaurants that she's been advertising.
Yeah. Okay. This part, let me just go. I'll just summarize this next part. Okay. So their son had a bowel disorder that they were stressed about. So that's really scary. Okay. They had good neighbors. They're still adventurous. Okay. Okay. This is about her, but in the spring of 2004, Ms. Schneeberger started her own business as a life coach, encouraging people and businesses to take risks, to be decisive, and to avoid gray areas as if they were quicksand. Shortly afterwards, Mr. Robbins was laid off from his job as a vice president for business development at a high-tech company.
What a sad life they had. Stop.
was
He
in
was vice
2004.
president for a startup. Oh my God, so sad. Yeah.
He was the vice president, and then he
Yeah.
was only vice, was to be upset.
And then he only had one vice, Mel Robbin.
Melly. Melly. Yeah.
So, okay, I guess it's sad that their kid had a health issue because I don't
Sure.
imagine that's an easy thing to do, whether you're poor or rich. Although when you're rich, you probably can afford medical care. So that's definitely like an improvement from people who actually can't afford that. And also, it's probably not easy to get laid off. But at the same
No.
time, you have experience as a vice president of a business development at a high tech company. So I guess you can get a second job. I don't know.
Or get another job?
I
Yeah.
will slowly buy you a boat.
Wrong one.
I'm sorry that you don't have a job.
That's what Dave Hollis
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah, Chris, Mr. Pooh.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that sucks. Like, of course, I'm not going to say, oh, getting fired's not bad if you're rich. It is. It does suck. It does put things, your finances, your budget into perspective, and you have to figure it out. But like, again, like you didn't get fired as a dishwasher and, went to prison and now can't get a job because he's a felon or something. Like that would be a situation where like, okay, if you can't get a job, and you have no savings, you will become homeless. Like that is the stakes of this. The stakes of this are like, oh, well, we just take some money out of our 401k for a while I look for something, talk to my coworkers and see what's out there. That's the stakes. Like, oh, it's uncomfortable for a couple months, a year. Not like, oh, we're done for. I
Yeah,
think.
and even that uncomfortable thing, I don't think when you're vice president of a startup tech company and your wife is a lawyer, I don't think that you don't have any money put aside because I just know those salaries are not quite the smallest that there are on this planet. I don't know. I've heard of lawyers charging a lot. So
Oh, a lawyer in
they might
Boston, especially, is one of the biggest towns like in the country that you can make a good income, like other than California. Like Boston, if you want to make money, go to Boston.
yeah. So
Especially
I
as a
would be
lawyer.
shocked if they just spent their entire salary every month. Like that's
Yeah, especially it sounds like, oh, they lived in a tent as opposed to renting a room at the Ritz for 2 years, Like it seems like they conserved money. So, boo-hoo, I guess.
yeah, I'm so
okay.
sad for them.
Yeah. So then he too decided to open his own business, only he hadn't decided what kind of business. Quote, my feet for all intents and purposes had left the dock. This is Dave
What?
Hollis' book. What? My feet, for all intents and purposes, had left the dock, but it wasn't clear in which direction I was swimming. Okay. Until then, he had paid all of the bills. Quote, we had the model where he made most of the money and then I contributed. She was a lawyer. What are you talking about? My money was for the extras. It was like his money is our money and my money is my money. Jeez.
So her money was like pocket change,
As a
like her a
lawyer?
few $100,000 a year. That's just pocket change for Mel Robbins.
Jeez, yeah. She makes it sound like she was like a
Wow.
part-time, kindergarten teacher or something. Yikes.
Yeah, or like a freelancer like us.
Oh man. Okay. Here comes the supportive partner
Okay.
part. She did not respond gracefully to the change. Quote, I was mad, she recalled. Quote, I said, I don't care if you're unhappy. I want you to get a job, make some income while you're figuring out what you want to do. Okay, Miss Life Coach. Jesus. God. Have some compassion.
Wow.
He lost his job. You chose, apparently, to become a life coach. All right. Who's at fault
So
here?
she's an asshole.
Go back to work.
Okay. That's nice. Mel Robbins is an asshole.
Yeah. Okay.
That's lovely.
Or as she explained it, quote, my mother and grandmother made it clear to me, you need to work because that's how you have power as a woman. If you have your own source of money, it never occurred to me I wouldn't work. But as soon as it became a have to, my whole model got flipped around. I consider myself extremely liberal, but all of a sudden I had an extremely conservative view of marriage.
Right. So she was thinking of dumping him. Okay, that's
she was
nice.
like-
So your husband lost his job, and you, instead of being supportive, because he supported you for years, instead of supporting him for a few years until he figures it out, you're thinking, oh shit, okay, this guy needs to provide, or else,
I'm done. Yeah.
yeah.
Yikes. I don't have any good sound bites. Oh, yes. Well, no, I don't. Damn.
I mean,
Yeah,
we need
that's-
to get a specific one about Mel Robbins, because this
Yeah.
is. I've never heard of like such a loving wife before. Seriously.
She's really showing compassion. And as a life coach, that's what my advice would be to give my clients. Oh, your husband lost his job. Well, you should probably think about leaving him immediately because
Yeah.
women need to have power.
Divorce. This is what divorce was made for.
Find someone that's richer than him that's not going to lose their job because, that's what my grandma said. Meemaw said, never not have money. So you can pay me $100 for that session. Thanks.
Yeah. 100,000 probably for Mel.
So Laura says, what is the point of this article? I don't know. Good question. I thought it was about their wedding, but apparently this is written 10 years later, so I have no idea. To me, it sounds like, okay, the reporter's like, okay, so prove to me how much you've struggled. And now this is them trying to explain, like, well, we slept in a tent one time and trying to come up with things to show like, oh, we've been through it.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. I think that this article is very much like a journalist contacts them. They are so full of themselves. They think, oh my God, wonderful. Of course, they want to hear about my perfect life and my wonderful experience and wisdom. So they tell the journalist the story, and the journalist is like, fucking. This is mental. Let's write the hell out of this. But I don't think
Yeah.
they realized that this journalist was not quite giving them the promotion they were hoping for.
Yeah. Who is it? Let's see. Who wrote this? We can look him up later. Or she. Lois Smith Brady. We'll figure out
Yeah.
her or his intentions. Lois, I guess, is a woman, right? Most likely.
It sounds like from Superman.
Lois Lane. Lois Lane and Mr. Robbins met and
She is our superwoman right now. I appreciate
our
Lois.
superwoman. She can do no wrong.
Yeah.
She lived for 40 years in total squalor, and then she decided to fix her life.
Yeah. The
okay.
kind of squalor that only like aristocrats lived in.
Yeah,
But yeah, one.
I only got to go to the lodge once this summer. It was very hard for my family.
Yeah.
Also, my husband is a piece of shit.
My husband like doesn't want to be rich anymore. Like, oh, I can't deal. Seriously.
It's crazy. And again, like, this is very similar to Rachel. Like, oh, they're fine. The woman's fine to pursue entrepreneurial, entrepreneurial opportunities full time and give them time to grow their business. But the men need to work. Like, how is that liberal? It's not. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
It's unfair.
definitely not liberal. Like, don't fall for this line that she just gave you here. Like, she's no means liberal.
The biggest liberal, except when it comes to my money and my husband being, like an equal partner to me. Fuck him. I need to be on top always in all situations. Like, okay.
I don't even know why she'd care because she had so much money. Like, why do you even care? Isn't like money like just a joke at one point when you have too much of it? I hope that's
No.
the situation.
She loves money. You can tell she's obsessed with money because I think because she does every sort of speaking engagement, no matter what the what the company is, she'll accept the job. So
Yeah, after this article, we can talk about that in detail.
yeah, I know we're taking a long time. Oh, here's the pizza part. Okay, sorry. All right. Nevertheless, while he brainstormed, she became the reluctant breadwinner, okay, occasionally panicking and putting up a for sale sign outside their house. Her mantra became change is good, and eventually she began to believe it. Last August, Mr. Robbins opened the Stone Hearth Pizza Company in Belmont, Massachusetts, a hip but child-friendly pizzeria which uses organic and mostly locally grown ingredients. The restaurant is doing so well, Mr. Robbins said, that he is opening another in May in Sudbury, Massachusetts. And Miss Schneeberger can spend more time at home dancing to Dire Straits with the kids. Oh, well, I'm so glad. Okay, quote.
I feel like she's being so sarcastic too because she keeps calling her Miss Schneeberger.
Yeah.
And at this point, they were married for like 10 years, so she had her name. But
Yeah.
she keeps saying Miss Schneeberger.
Yeah,
By the
'cause
way, she's just like dancing around with the kids while the husband is working, and that is just how things should be.
It's going so well. Yeah, I agree. Quote, really has been a wild ride with exciting and heart-wrenching times, Mr. Robbins wrote in an email message. Can't deny that I'm often overwhelmed by the challenge of raising kids, pursuing a profession, paying the bills, keeping mind, body, health in check, and having a passionate relationship with Mel. One thing is for sure, you can't imagine any of this when standing at the altar, and it's certainly not something you can prepare for. And yes, it's an adventure every day.
Oh, do you think we'll get like a marriage counseling conference since we're in desperate need of one since Rach and Dave are no longer together? Maybe they can tell us about being passionate and raising kids and, all the stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I'm all for it, but only if he delivers it as Christopher Robbins, Pooh Bear's owner.
Oh, yeah, he can be Mr. DePoo. But can we look up what was the pizzeria called? Let's look it up. Let's see where he's standing now.
Okay, Stone Hearth Pizza Company.
Stone Hearth Pizza.
Now, that was in 2006 when this was hot, so it makes sense that, later on during the recession, 2008, 2009, that the, restaurant may probably, I guess is what she says, went under or started to have financial issues because organic pizza is usually not at the top of your list when you've just gotten laid off,
Okay, there's one in Massachusetts in Belmont. There's another one in Alston, Massachusetts. So I think there's quite a few. It looks like there's quite a few.
Yeah, and that's where they said they were, so I don't know.
Oh, that's where they were? They were not in Boston at that point anymore?
No, they said they were in those two places in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Maybe there's more information on the website as there should be. About
I'm on menus.
sustainable, organic, and local. Okay. They have Soul, sustainable, organic, local. Can I share? I think I can share this. I don't know. Oh, you can see it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on it. Sorry, got it. Yeah, I don't know
So
if they sold or what. I don't know what the end of the story is. I know she said that she was in debt around the time when after these restaurants were a thing, but they seem to have at least stayed. I don't know if they own it still or if they sold it or what.
okay, yeah, fair enough. At least that happened.
It's
But
a
like, you must have some money to be able to even start a restaurant, I think. But this is
yeah.
we're talking about a whole other level. Like, at this point, like, we're not even, these guys didn't even know what to do with the money. This is what I'm gathering from this story. They had lots of money. She was a lawyer. He was like a vice president at a startup. They had money and they literally just didn't know what to do with it. That's exactly what happened there.
I agree. And they felt like, oh, we're boring. We need to mix it
Yeah.
up a little bit and like take risks and like, but again, the risk of someone who has money in the bank is a much different risk than someone who doesn't. Starting a
Yeah,
business with no money, it's a
is
risk to die, like to die on the streets is the risk, not like, oh, I'm like slightly inconvenienced.
Yeah, this is no risk at all for them. I just imagine Mr. Depew being like on the couch one day, in his gigantic mansion, watching TV, eating a pizza, and then he goes like, I like this pizza. What if I just start like a pizza company?
I
And
love
Mel's like,
pizza.
oh my God, finally you'll be able to make the money that I want.
Yeah.
So that's how I think it started.
Just
What do you
manifest.
have any theories on how he came about a pizza company of all things?
He's like John Shatner. He's like, that guy from Papa John's, he seems really down to earth and a good guy. I want to be just like him. And then he's like, well, I'm gonna make better ingredients even than the better ingredients tagline, and then I'll make it organic, and then Mel will love me again.
I think he was probably, the organic part definitely has something there. I don't care. I don't think he cared about Mel, but okay.
True. He's like, I
I'm
need my
kidding. I
wife.
have no idea. From his like romantic lines there, I don't understand anything. So, I can't tell. But I'm imagining he probably got like a Domino's. Oh my God, is that like poor people pizza? Or what kind of pizza would aristocrats get like them?
Well, like local pizza place is definitely like a ritzier type of activity. The poors, and I am among them. Little Caesars, Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut. Those are for the
They would not be
plebs.
taking those. Like, that's
No.
not what they would order. They would have either like a personal chef making them a pizza or something. And then Chris, because I was gonna say Chris probably just was eating that and he was like, I want more bacon. Why don't I just like start my own company?
Oh, I have a theory. Okay, here's my theory. He was at a local Papa John's eating it. He's like, this is disgusting. I want my money back. This is an abomination. And he's just like, he spit on the pizza and then threw it on the ground and then stomped on it. And he's like, I'm going to open my own pizza shop using organic ingredients. And this place will be out of business. And then he left and then took his, $100,000 he had in the bank and just bought the building and said, okay, we're starting the company.
Yeah. Yeah, and fired the guy.
Yeah, he's like, you will
Yeah.
rue the day you gave me pizza that was not up to my standards.
Yeah, that's probably how it happened. Very
Yeah.
inspiring.
Very inspiring.
Very inspiring. I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah, that's a Gary Vee story in the making. Like, I just shit on a pizza and I opened my own. Yeah. This is an article from 2013, and it still lists Chris Robbins as the co-owner, at least back in 2013. So it seems like he survived thank you. He survived the recession, and
Yeah.
things seem to be going well. Because Jonathan Schwartz is the co-owner, but then Robbins is also listed.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can see how they would survive a recession because it doesn't matter for people like them. It's not for them. Recessions are for us only.
They had 4 locations. Yeah, for real. They had 4 locations. They opened the first one in Belmont, expanded to Alston, Needham, and Cambridge. And Cambridge is like right near Boston, like near the center. So that's closer to the regular Boston area.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't say for sure, but that sounds like a very sad life they had. Like so sad.
Yeah. For real. I'm weeping.
I am too. Like I just can't even believe what she went through. It's been just 40 years of torture. Like literal torture.
All right, one more time. I'm sorry. I know this is annoying. I didn't get the pizza I wanted, so I made my own company. And then it
Pilot
expanded.
just left me. The pilot just left me on like a very sunny island.
Go ahead.
And where
Go on.
the pilot just dropped me on a sunny island in the Hawaii. And all I had was a 5-star restaurant and a 5-star hotel to stay at. And I was just there, like bathing in the sun alone for 5 days until the pilot came and picked me up.
That's sad. I have a similar story. I was drinking my mojito by the pool when a child cannonballed, splashing my face in the most uncomfortable way. It was cold, and I shivered.
Oh my god, it's so sad.
Anyways, okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about now? Which part? We're at hour 4 right now.
Okay. So you guys were trying to keep it short and stop, like have a hard stop at like an hour and a half. So we should probably talk about the MLMs, should we?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's my biggest gripe with her, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, Kayla has 2 gripes with her and and I have one, I guess.
What's your gripe? That's the most important. This is your episode. What's your big gripe?
Just this sad background story. That's
Okay.
my gripe.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, my gripe is that she absolutely cannot stop speaking at MLM conferences.
Yeah, she's a big fan.
She's a big fan of Young Living, of Beachbody, of Rodan and Fields, of other ones. Even ones, or Monat. She was at Monat several times, I believe. I shouldn't say that. She was at Monat at least once. Oops. But the thing that bothers me is that she knows better. She's a lawyer. She had a show on CNN. She had a show on NBC. She's not someone who's stupid. And she knows that a pyramid scheme, MLM, is not going to make most people, especially the ones she's speaking to, successful. And yet she doesn't care.
Have a marketing system to generate...
Sorry.
But I think she doesn't care because basically she is paid a lot of money, so that's good.
Here's another gripe I have. Speaking of that, she likes to claim that she makes $100,000 in 1 hour. That's her claim to fame now, and I'll show you the proof of that. Hold on. I made $100K. But the thing is, like, the reason I feel like she is obsessed with money is, like, if you made $100K in 1 hour, why the fuck are you still working? Like, do you really have to take that Beachbody job?
She's very passionate about helping people.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Very cool.
Unlike those MLM representatives who don't even get like $100. So
Yeah.
but I'm sure they can level up.
Yeah.
If they all just have to, they just have to count down from 5, and suddenly they will be making $100K in no time.
Yes. Totally. It's like basically just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wish, believe, and then the money appears in your bank account. That's how it works.
Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. suddenly not poor anymore. Like,
Five, four,
I've been
three,
saying
two,
it all
one.
day, and I'm hoping I wake up tomorrow and I'm totally rich, living in a mansion. Like, I know for sure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Poverty is done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unhappiness is done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Depression is done. Woo! Everyone's like,
Yeah.
great song.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing that is very interesting to me is that I don't understand why she keeps like showing off how much money she makes. Because most of the people in her audience are like depressed, anxious people, and I'm sure we'll get to that in a minute. But what is the point in showing off that you make so much money?
To tell people to listen to her, because people who make a lot of money, doesn't matter from where. That doesn't really matter because, for example, I know that to be true because Jordan Belfort, for example, who literally went to prison for fraud. Well, I shouldn't say for fraud. He went to prison for some sort of scheme involving the stock market. People take advice as if he's going to give them great advice. It's like, this man got caught by the government doing something completely wrong. And everyone's like, he's my financial guru. It's like, because he's rich. It's like, okay, like, I don't get it.
No, me neither.
It's like, do you really want to go and like fraud people for money? Like, well, yeah, sure. I don't care. Like, some people just don't, I guess. They just want that sweet, sweet cash.
Yeah, well, I guess. But it's just very crass because, like, these people are probably so poor. And I don't know if they're all poor, but if they're, like, working in MLMs, they're probably not making any money.
Yeah, totally. And that's the part. And she knows that, I think, because how could she not? She went to Boston College. She went to Dartmouth. She doesn't know that, a company that 99% of people don't make a profit is a good thing to pursue. Give me a break.
Yeah, she knows. She knows. She's not. Yeah.
She just doesn't care. And then, yeah, Rodan Fields. Do you want to, oh, this is an ad. Do you want to watch the depression video, one of those?
Oh, yes. So one of the biggest things that she does that really pisses me off is just how she, for some reason, with her law degree from Boston and her college education at Dartmouth, she has decided that she just knows how to fix people's mental health. Like that, to me, so irritating. I cannot stand it.
Yes.
But I will give her that at least she didn't write a book about the law of attraction, and she just made it about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 because,
Yet.
a tiny bit more original. But
Is it though? Just like do it. Like, I know you don't want to, but just like try doing it. Like, that's her
Yeah.
whole book. Like, okay, thank you.
yeah, in her videos about like where she's interacting with people who have depression and anxiety, and is this the one? Hold on 1 second, let me tell you which one I want to show you first, because
Okay. This one's titled "Struggling with Depression. Have you tried this? Have you tried counting?" So stupid.
I'm trying to. No, I think the one that I want is the one that has anxiety in the title. I think
Okay.
it's called "If You Struggle with Anxiety, This Trick."
This mind trick
This
will
trick
change your life.
Yes, that
Okay.
one.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna change your life right now, everybody. No more 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5.
Anxiety is done. Excuse me.
Goodbye, anxiety. By the way, can I just say that it makes me so anxious, this like counting down thing,
Why?
which is ironic because I'm like, okay, I want to take my time. don't like make me do things so fast.
3, 2, 1. Relaxation is done. Okay.
Yeah.
Force yourself into all the situations really fast. Okay.
Yeah.
The question was, what do you do when you wake up in the morning and you're having a panic attack?
Sorry, I'm blocking this.
But it's something I lived with for years, and it is terrifying.
This is new to me.
It's terrifying. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. And I want to tell you, you can actually get control of it. You ready?
Yeah.
So, first things first, let me explain what's happening when your body is in a state of panic, okay? So that you understand what's going on.
Can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation?
I'm already depressed about this.
Yeah. Do you see how this person is struggling right now? Like she's probably having either an anxiety attack or a panic attack. She's crying. This is what I'm trying to say. Like when these people have an audience in their own stage, they know who is in their audience. And if people are addressing them with questions about anxiety and tears in their eyes,
Yeah.
like this woman is doing, you are not qualified to, like, you can try to help her in the moment, but you're not qualified to give her advice to be like, every morning you do this. Like, no, go to a qualified therapist, go to someone who knows. I don't know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I can help to calm someone down in the moment, and if I can do something, that's amazing, but I'm not gonna be like, yeah, this is the recipe, do it every time. Like, just calm down.
It's yeah, it really, really, really hurts me to see this because two people are having a conversation here. One person is being very vulnerable and authentic, and one person is selling a book. And it disturbs me that is the type of person that she's going to, as she's holding the books, she is going to be giving this type of advice, and someone's recording it. So I'm imagining the scenario where this woman's coming up in tears in her eyes, and she's like, come over here, get this. This is good footage for my fucking YouTube channel. Like, I hate it. I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
It's so awful.
Drives me insane, makes me feel really bad. And I feel for this woman. And she's probably, I don't know what event this is. I can't tell. I was trying to look at her tag. I can't see it, what it says.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's say the title of the event was like something about like change your life or something. This person probably came with like good intentions. Like, okay, I need to figure this out. I'm depressed. I'm in tears, literally. Let me see that this is promised to me through marketing that's going to fix my anxiety. And now she's here facing this person who's a salesperson.
It looks like a book signing.
Yeah.
Looks like a book signing. This is what I'm trying to say. They purposely target people who are vulnerable. Like this woman is like, actually, she just said that she's not had these attacks like her whole life. This is kind of a newer thing. And Mel, instead of saying, well, like, we should probably play the whole thing, but Mel does not send her to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Like, you'll just see what happens.
Oh,
You'll see what happens.
I'm pissed already. Okay.
Situation in your car where you almost get in an accident.
Yes.
And immediately when that car almost sideswipes you, what happens in your body?
You tense up. You have a instant, what's the word? Adrenaline.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like your heart's racing, right?
Yeah.
And your palms get sweaty. In the situation I just gave you, your brain has context for what the fuck is going on. So your brain goes, oh my God, we almost just got hit by a car. As soon as the car leaves, your body starts to slow down, doesn't it?
Right.
What happens when you're having a panic attack is you wake up in the middle of the morning and your body's in a state of alert, just as if a car almost hit you.
Okay.
But the problem is your mind has no explanation for why it's happening. Does
Yes.
that make sense?
That's the hard part.
Yes. So your mind gets really scared because your body is now doing something
Right.
that normally only happens when there's danger.
Okay, we get it. She experiences it.
But the problem, but there's no danger. But you don't know the difference. So you
No
now
shit,
wake up,
idiot.
and I would get in this cycle where I would literally have panic attack after panic attack, and then I'd be afraid of having a panic attack.
Yeah.
And then I'd have a panic attack. So you're going to do this. When you wake up and you feel that, do not lie in bed. Stand up immediately. Start your day. Then
Even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, yes, because lying in bed with all of that and deep breathing, it's probably not going to help.
Okay.
If you actually get up and physically move, your body now thinks, oh, she's getting away from the danger.
Okay.
What I want you to do is come up with an anchor thought.
Okay, hold on. Hold up. As someone who has had extreme panic attacks for many, many years, the only thing that I've ever found, ever to work is medication. Like having medication every day. You know, I take I'm not on anymore, but like a Zoloft every single day to keep me steady. And then if I felt panic, I would take an additional clonazepam. And that's the only thing that ever helped me. And you need to sleep. If you're not sleeping, you're going to be like psychotic. So getting up at 2 a.m. because you have a panic attack and just start your day is the stupidest advice.
Not to mention that it's anything but impossible for a person who is actually having an attack or is having severe anxiety to just start their day. Like it's not like people who have anxiety or depression just don't want to, they just don't want to do it. That's not what's happening. They just feel like they can't. It's like
Yeah.
it's easy to be like, yeah, just wake up when you're healthy and you don't have to, you don't start, you don't understand. But when you're not healthy, from that perspective, if you have anxiety, if you have panic attacks, if you have depression, it's not like, that's not easy. That's just, it's not I don't know why people just like simplify it like this. And this is the thing, even here, this that bothers me, is she's not even just like giving her trying to calm her or help her in the moment. She's giving her a list of things to do in the future. She's like, when this happens, you do this, you have an anchor. It's like, stop talking, you don't know what you're talking about. This person's gonna waste so much time trying these things, instead of just, somebody should just tell her, look, I have a therapist, or I had a therapist, here's a phone number, why don't you call, have an appointment, see if you can find someone, see what happens. Like, those people will be able to help you. I can't, like, I can just help you right now, maybe, hopefully, but like, that's what I think they should say, you know what I mean?
Well, the whole thing too is, I don't know what background information that this woman gave, but like my first question to her is like, oh, are you seeing a therapist? Are you on medication? No. Okay. That would be my first step. Go see somebody just to make sure, or maybe they can help you, talk to you, because she's at a book signing. I don't think she's able to say like, this happened and then in my childhood, like, there's not enough time in that situation to really unpack like what is going on and why this woman has anxiety. And not self-actualization, but like acknowledgement of, oh, there's no car accident in my room at night. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought a car was going to hit me in my room. Oh my gosh, now that Mel pointed that out to me, I am healed. It's like realizing that does not cure your panic.
Yeah.
And I've had
It's
panic.
a physical sensation. It's not
100%.
it attacks you. There's like certain hormones, and I wouldn't know to talk about it, but there's certain hormones that are released that induce fear, and like, it's not just a mental thing, it's not just a thought that
No.
you can push away. It becomes physical. There's like things that are
100%.
happening in your body. Your heart is pumping. That's not a mental thing. When your heart is pumping, that's a physical thing. Your body is under pressure. So this is why it's so frustrating. And the thing that bothers me so much is that she is pro therapy. She's talked about therapy. She said that she's gone to therapy, and like, she's not even saying this. Like, let's play. Oh,
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting so pissed off.
Anchor thought, like, okay, and this, even just this title page, a positive thought so powerful, it pulls you out of your current mindset and into that moment. No, that's also total bullshit. In the middle of a panic attack, the only thing you're thinking about is, oh my God, like, I need to stop feeling this way. That's the only feeling. Or get away from in my experience, get away from this place, wherever I was, get away from this feeling as quickly as possible, because it's so uncomfortable. I'm not thinking about like, well, it could be worse. Well, like, I would love to be a successful YouTuber one day, so that thought's gonna pull me out of this. It's like, no, you need medication or some sort of intervention. Or, and someone said it in the comments, and I totally agree, the only thing that worked for me is an everyday medication for my anxiety, generally, a emergency pill that I know I have it if I need it, that just having it there makes me feel better, that it's available, that'll calm me down physically, will calm me down, and therapy to figure out why I'm having these panic attacks in the first place over many, many years of time to come, most likely, till I feel like, okay, now I'm in a management stage. There's no thought in the world that's powerful
no cure,
enough.
Like,
No.
that is so quick.
There's no
it's not like that's
phrase.
easy. And
No.
there's also like levels to this, and I've heard of people who just when they have an anxiety or a panic attack, they think they're dying.
Yes.
So they're convinced, they're like, oh my God, I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying. Like it's not
rational.
Imagine just when you're thinking I'm dying, and she's just saying, why don't you have a positive thought? Why
It's
don't you
completely
just
irrational.
What
And-
about that toxic positivity, everyone?
Yeah.
Why don't we try that?
And you can think like, you know, oh, like I had panic in college, my second year in college. I had like a period of time, like 2 months before I got back on medication, where I wasn't sleeping. I was having these panic attacks like all the time. And I was in my dorm. Nothing was happening. I was aware that nothing was happening, but yet my heart was racing, pounding, whatever. It's not logical, and putting logic to it does not help. A million people could tell me, Kayla, come on, like it's fine, you're fine. No, it doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't know how, like what evolutionary benefit this gives people to feel this way or where it comes from. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But all I know is experiencing it, none of this shit would work. None of these tips that she's given thus far would work for me.
No, and that's because these tips are like intellectual and potentially maybe have worked for Mel, but at the same time, Mel has had therapy.
Yep.
So I don't know where maybe that helped as well. So there's multiple things that could have helped Mel that this person right now potentially doesn't have access to. And also I just think, at least with my experience of anxiety and what I've heard from other people, it's not an intellectual thing, it's not a mental thing. Like, it is coming from the brain for sure, but it's a physical in your body sensation. So you cannot fix it with thoughts. Like,
No.
you cannot fix anxiety with thoughts. You need to, like, it's got to be still physical. Like, it still has to be. This is why I think medication helps people, because it addresses the physical aspect. Like, there's too much hormone being released, they're stopping, or whatever. I don't know what those medications are doing, because I'm not a doctor, but at least I'm not here giving people advice about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think too, her example of like, well, when a car comes and sideswipes you, you panic, right, in the moment, but then once it's gone, you stop panicking. It's like, that is not a comparable example. That is step one, A equals B equals C. The car comes, the car leaves, then this happens. That is a logical step-by-step thing. That is not applicable to how a panic attack occurs, at least in my experience. I could be laying in bed, everything's fine. All of a sudden, my heart's racing. I'm panicking. I'm thinking I'm dying for no reason. Inherently in the moment, it was like fine equals now panic. That doesn't make sense. And until you like work through it over a long period of time and take medication, it ain't gonna get fixed. And I totally agree with Carmen, what she says here about why people turn to gurus, because therapy can be expensive and medicine can be, people in certain religions don't believe in medicine, or your family says like medicine is fake. Like, I've dealt with that with so many people that, ask me like, what did you do to fix your anxiety? I'm like, I took medication. Well, I'm not that type of person. It's like, why? Like, what is it? I don't know.
It's just because there's some stigma about medication, but unfortunately.
So stigma,
but the thing is, like,
money. Yeah, there's a lot of barriers, and I think that's the biggest reason why people look at Mel Robbins. Why this woman's probably here asking for her advice, because there probably is a barrier of some sort.
Yeah, and they know that, and that's why they target these people, because the reason why these people find them, and the reason why me and you found them, is because we looked things like how to get out of a rut, how to get out of depression, how to do this. You're looking for things that you should be asking a therapist, really. You're looking for them on YouTube, and these people have purchased, or whatever they've done, they've like keyworded their videos in such a way that you find them. You find all the self-help people. If you look for like how to get out of depression, or if with the TL Swan thing, if you are want to unalive yourself and you look for that, you're gonna find her. It's like they're targeting that, and this is why, to me, it's like literally like the most insidious thing. They know who they're targeting, and they're selling them a dream, really. Like, they would say anything in order for that person to buy that book. Like, that's literally, you'll see. She actually has a sales pitch in this video. Let's keep playing.
Okay, let's watch it. I can't believe it. Okay, let's watch.
What is a thought? Give me describe a place where you feel really happy and centered and grounded.
Watching my grandkids.
Great. You're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to have a particular vision of you and your grandchildren.
Okay.
Super specific. And then just say, I'm so excited to see them tomorrow. I'm so excited
I see them
to
every day.
All right, I'm so
I get to
excited to see
babysit
them in
them.
the morning. I'm so excited. And what's going to happen is by saying you're excited, and by counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you interrupt the patterns.
Right.
You awaken this.
You awaken this, my third eye from fluoride.
Yeah, the chakra.
By saying, I'm excited to see my babies. And then you've got a picture of them. Your mind's going to start to go, oh, her heart's racing because she's excited to see her babies. Just keep saying that. You've got to give your mind an explanation to get it to calm your body down.
That's not how it works.
In the
dumbass.
car crash, your mind knows what's happening. You're going to give it a reason. Do you understand?
I do.
The other thing I want you to know, in the back of this book, last page right here, this is for everybody. The book comes with 31 days of video torture. Sign up for it, because I go into panic and anxiety very deeply. All that's happened is, for some reason, you've started to worry. And that worry has become a habit, and now your body is worrying, and that's now leading to panic. We can reverse it, okay?
We can reverse it. You, Mel, and this woman can do it together. Okay, she's never going to see this woman again.
No. And she just sold her. Not only did she sell her the book right now, but she also sold her on those videos that she has, which would probably be a funnel that will lead to other things that they can buy from her.
Wonderful.
So literally, this woman is crying, asking about anxiety, and instead of being like, you should probably look for a therapist. Instead of that, you're like, why don't you just like count from 5 to 1 and get my book and watch my videos, and you'll be cured in no time.
I don't even know if she really had panic attacks, Mel herself, because the way she describes them as the cure, you wouldn't, I don't think, as like, oh, that's logical, because as she's saying it, I'm like, as someone who's experienced it, I'm like, none of that would work. You would know immediately that would not work. Like, it's not like, oh, I have to tell myself why. You know what I do when I'm like, if I start to panic, I'm like, something must be wrong. Like, there must be a bomb dropping or something. I can't just go, I'm so excited to see my grandchildren. Like, come on.
It's just hilarious, like, honestly, that this is her advice, because and that she's like, oh, I go so in depth about panic and anxiety in my videos. It's like,
What does that mean?
literally, this is like, this should be illegal. Why are you putting
Practicing?
content out
Yeah.
like behind the paywall? Because like the book is the paywall. You have to get the book to get the code to enter, whatever. And basically, she also has these for free on YouTube. And I don't understand how this isn't false advertising. This person is a lawyer.
Yeah.
She has no background in like mental
And a
health.
life
And
coach,
here's like,
which is no
Yeah, but
certification. Yeah.
but I swear to God, when you see things like this, like this is how to cure your anxiety. Like, this is literal false advertising, allegedly.
It's dangerous. It's completely dangerous. And again, like, there's no follow-up to this person, most likely. Like, they're not exchanging phone numbers, which I don't think is appropriate. I don't think Mel should give out her personal phone number to strangers. I'm not suggesting that, but because that's not the, correct scenario for her to be in, there's no telling what happened to this woman the second she walked out of this conference or wherever she's at,
Yeah.
book signing. She could have left and then whatever. And there's because there's no follow-up, Mel gets to feel like, oh, I saved a life today. Oh, I've changed someone's life, because
Yeah.
there's no...
And she's on video with her, so she has like proof for that. And the other video that we don't have time to watch anymore, literally, I think people were like applauding or something at the end. And it's like, yeah, you literally talk to this person for like 2 minutes. This person's gonna go. The problem is still there. It's going nowhere, except you sold her something, and that's it. And then you get applause and how amazing you are when you're a lawyer with no background in mental health. And I don't understand why you're doing this. Why isn't she just like talking about things that she knows. Like, she's clearly a smart person. She's a lawyer. Why doesn't she just do things? But okay, I think I have the answer for that. I mean, it's because that's where the money is, you know. And
Yeah, I was going to say that's where the money is. And, you know, if you talk about law, eventually there becomes a place where you run out of stuff to talk about that's, you know, interesting to a wide variety of people. But for, you know, these, I'll call them grifters, because that's how I perceive them, like Mel and Rachel and Gabby Bernstein and all the rest of them, Dave Hollis. They prey on people's vulnerabilities, and people are always going to have vulnerabilities no matter what, no matter how much self-care they do, no matter how much Botox they put in their forehead, they're going to have vulnerabilities. It's going to, I mean, that's just the human experience in my opinion. Like, we're going to have something. So to continue to put out content that addresses like why you're stuck, how to fix this in 10 seconds, having anxiety, try this, depressed, like, because we go in cycles and cycles and cycles. So there's also 7 billion people in the world. So once the first million go, okay, that didn't work, I'm not going to listen to Mel anymore, they're now off onto the next guru to hope that person fixes them. And then Mel takes in the next million people that have never heard her work before. And then again, it's a cycle. They can just cycle through people until they retire. And that's the sad part. And it's awful. That makes me sick, disgusting.
And there have been some studies done that have looked at people who kind of come from money, and they looked at people with money in general, but this mostly applied when people came from money. And they've done like a study to see why people with money essentially have lower empathy, or not why, if so they kind of established that people who have a lot of money just have basically no empathy, and or lower empathy than most people. And there's like a lot of reasons for this, but basically this is what I'm noticing here as well, because like she came from money, she had money or her entire life. Like, her sad story is that her husband was like laid off from being vice president of a startup tech company. Like, seriously, that's her rags to riches, like right there. So she had so much money, and she clearly cannot relate to people who, she can't empathize with, to people who don't have that money and who don't have the resources that come with that, because she probably never had to deal with like not having money to see a therapist, or like you know, that's not the kind of thing that she, with that kind of money that she's talking about, would have to deal with. But there's a whole other story when you simply cannot afford like $50 to $100 for a therapist. You can't afford it, so that's why you look for these guys, because they're free videos on the internet.
Yeah, definitely. That's a huge factor. And I think there needs to be, you know, which I doubt will ever be, but we talk about mental health in this country a lot, about how important it is and how much we need to focus on it and work on it. And yet the resources are like, do a meditation on your own, do yoga on YouTube. It's not the same. A lot of people have trauma from a lot of different, you know, places and reasons, and childhood this and, you know, abuse that. And like, it's very, very common, yet a small percentage of people are even able to go and get past the stigma of going and get into therapy, and then have to stay in it for a long time, because it's not a quick fix. It's not a, you know, a one size fits all thing, and it takes time. And all of that sounds like the opposite of what, you know, is sellable to people.
Yeah.
So all those factors in mind, these people, and the thing is, like, I think you and I are very aware of what type of people that they attract, what type of situation they're probably in when you're looking for, I'm depressed, how do I get out of it? Okay, but they almost seem like I keep thinking of Dave Hollis, for this example. Like, they seem to think that everyone else is stupid, that we would not think that this business idea would work. Oh, I know it would work. I could become a life coach and start giving advice.
I think it's genius, actually.
Yeah. I get it. Trust me, bro. I get it. But I think it's disgusting. That's why I'm not doing it. Not because I'm stupid. I think you're a bad person. You know,
they have no ethics. That's the thing that I think. It's very easy to make money when you're Rachel Hollis or Mel Robbins and you don't care about the people in MLMs that you're trying to. You get 100K per hour, like Mel Robbins talking at an MLM conference. You don't care that those people don't make $100 a month. Like, you don't care. And for Mel Robbins, like coming from the background that she comes and not being able to empathize and not being able to realize, okay, these people don't have the same money that I had. They don't have the same resources. They don't know the same people. So they are not able to do what I did. Like she cannot fathom that. She says literally, and you read it on the website, like, if I could, you could. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
And do you see the comments coming in? They want a part, the
Yes.
people want a part 2. And I think that sounds like a great idea.
We should.
Part
We
2?
should definitely.
Not right now, but I think this
Not
is
right
good. I
now.
think the timing worked out well because we got like kind of like the basics out of the way, and now we can kind of deeperly explore her. And I don't know if next week is the best. Like maybe we should do next week. We've never tried to do back to back, I don't think, except for when we talked about Rachel. But yeah, maybe we could try it. Would you guys prefer?
Yeah.
Let us know. Next week, or like
Yeah, would
have
you
someone in
guys-
between, or like later on have her back.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys would want a break from Mel Robbins next week, or just like finish off Mel Robbins before we move on to someone else.
Because we got more stuff. We got her forcing people with panic disorders up on stage to prove a point that we didn't
yeah.
get to show. And that's a good one.
Oh, we love Mel. She's Mel. What's it? Oh, wait, Mel Schneeberger. Love Miss Schneeberger.
Mel. What was the song again?
Mel.
5, 4, 3, 2. Wait. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Mental
1.
illness.
Anxiety is gone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Critical thinking is no more.
It is done. It's gone. It's in the trash. Just count to 5 and you'll be able to.
Do you see when you tell the truth that it doesn't quite like come so easily? Yeah, I think it's the same with like most things. It's like if it sounds too good, it's because it is too good to
Yeah.
be true.
Yeah.
The
When
truth
you're-
normally is pretty sad and no, it doesn't rhyme.
If a guy is following you with the knife, just count to 5 and it'll be all right. That's the Mel song. Mel, that's the Mel song. Nah, nah.
Oh yeah, Miss. I can't even remember. Miss Schneeberger. Miss Schneeberger would definitely like count from 5 to 1 if she was being chased by a lion. She'd be like, "No more anxiety."
I'm just gonna think about my children, and then I'll be transported into a better situation. Mel, that's the song. Yeah.
Schneeberger. Okay. So
love
thank
the
you
name.
guys so much. I love it. It just sounds so melodic. I love it. I think she should have actually. I think it's a lot more original than Robbins, since we had Tony Robbins in the industry. But yeah. Oh, should we tell people that we have this? Because remember, you guys, we said that once we get to 2,000 subscribers, we promised that we would start memberships. And we have reached 2,000 subscribers, so we're probably going to. We should keep our promise. We're on it.
Yes, we're in process of making the stuff for it. Cam is doing that right now, making the graphical elements. And then so the process is we have to apply on the channel and hopefully they don't go and look at our record and go, absolutely not. But hopefully YouTube
It's
has to-
likely because
YouTube has to approve it. And so there's going to be different tiers that you can join. And then there's different things that we will offer. And we're trying to figure that part out. So if you have any suggestions, maybe we can make a community post after this, just asking like what you would like to see in a membership program, like, you know, what you look out for or what you would want, and just be as creative as possible. Just free write from your spirit guides.
Yeah, this is a one-time offer. Let us know what you want.
And then we can add
Because
it
when
into
we
a
like
tier.
reach 1 million subscribers, we will not care anymore. Okay.
Yeah, we'll be done.
you.
We'll be
We will have no more empathy, like Mel.
comments will be turned off on every video because we will no longer support your
Oh
free
man, that would be
speech.
such a sad stream. Imagine.
Just talking to the void. It's like,
Oh god.
so today we're talking about Cam's mom. Silence. Oh,
I would
man.
throw my mom under the bus at 1 million subscribers.
Okay, me too. God, that would be a sad show for me. Like, okay, where do we begin? It's very complicated. Okay.
Okay.
So let us know. We'll make the post after this video, after we log off. But I think
Yeah.
as a sign out, we should pitch coming back next week. So in your saddest story, tell the audience why they should come back next week. You ready?
Okay.
Go.
So you guys, I really struggle with panic attacks, and if you guys come back next week, I will tell everyone how to fix it for themselves, and they will never have to pay $1 to like therapists, because
Spiffy cat.
therapists just don't count. Okay, like listen to me. I would have a book. I'm writing it right now. It's very short. It's like 10 pages, but it's like 18 stinking dollars. So. And it's definitely
18
very, very,
stinking dollars.
and it's definitely very, very, very accurate, because I am very well prepared with my law degree on how to help you with your anxiety. So,
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. That was a really good send off.
thank you.
I like that. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Very proud of it.
If you guys don't watch the next episode, part 2 of Mel Robbins, I will be forced to only have one sandwich this week, because I have a very strict one sandwich per viewer limit. So in order for myself to eat this week, you must come back to this next episode. Thank you.
Yeah. And I will only fly with my private pilot to Alaska only once this summer.
That's such a sacrifice.
It's so sad.
So sad. Okay, and just for the last thing, because I find it so funny, since everyone agreed that this is funny, we'll see you next Thursday for Mel Robbins Part 2. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh,
5,
I love that
4,
sound.
3,
Wait, start over. Okay.
5,
5,
4.
4. Wait, we had to do the high five. We didn't even talk about that yet. Okay. 5.
5.